Okay, so hello and welcome to the next episode of Cyber Potato. Sorry for the pause between the videos, but I was in delegation. But now we're back in business. So, what I would like to do right now is actually fill out our ideas page, okay? Because as you can tell, right now it's empty. So let's get this show on the road. What we actually need is some kind of common interface to connect to the API. And this class, will just, call it API. We'll use it to perform all of our requests to the API regarding fetching or creating new data. So let me start by creating common folder, and here I will create API TS file. All right, and I will export default class API, and it is gonna be filled mainly with static functions. So it's gonna be init. Actually, no need to make it static. Init function. What we will need is access instance that we actually will use the API here to wrap the access instance and create a common interface to perform requests. So let me just import Axios. Do I need Axios? I kind of need Axios. Oops, it's not like that. From Axios. Then we also need Axios instance type and Axios request config, I believe. Okay. What else? We'll need the token key. So this comes from, I believe, Alpha API. Okay. Bounce token key. Great. So now I can say that here we have a private static property Axios instance, which is of type Axios instance. And in the init method, we'll initialize it with Axios create, and I will tell that the base URL is hidden in process env react app API base URL. Okay, that makes sense actually. Axios instance. Okay, yeah, way better. So we have the access instance here to perform the request, but I will also add another method, add API interceptors. Okay, makes sense. And this is going to be private static add API interceptors. It doesn't need any argument, it doesn't return anything. So this access instance should have something. Why are we doing this? Well, and what is the interceptor? So the interceptors in Axios are functions that are called either just after the response came in, or just before the request is being sent. And since I would like to add the authentication token just in one place, I can use interceptors to do that. So right now we'll write a function that will add the authorization token that we get from the API just before sending the request. Okay, so here I can tell request headers will add authorization header, has to be bearer, and then local storage get item bounce it token key. And of course, naturally, since we're taking the request and modifying it, we have to return the request. And now we're fine. And now, just to provide the standard methods for interacting with the API, we'll kind of override the stuff that Axios provides. So this is config, just optional Axios request config, right? And this is return this Axios instance get type is of t, same type, URL and config. Okay, then we will use post, I believe it is, URL string data is of any type, config. I don't like using any, but from time to time it actually makes sense. We don't want to restrict what kind of data our interface can send. URL data config. Let's just override the request. We should also can actually make it generic. Yeah. We should request t config access request config return this access instance request of type t with config, and we're pretty much done. Okay, so this is it, and I kind of like this approach when we're interacting with REST API. I often tend to create this API class just to, have all interceptors or settings regarding the access instance in one place. It makes sense for me. It may not make sense for you, and you can find another approach, of course. Okay, so let's go to IdeasList page, and let's start working on that. So not much here right now. We of course have to start with fetching the data naturally. So we will have state. This is gonna be, can I just use state? Thank you. Ideas, I'm gonna say, yeah, and it will start as an empty array because it makes sense. This is gonna be idea array. I would like it to be idea array. Did we or did we not? Yeah, we don't have idea type. So here let's just quickly create types ts, and here we'll hold our types. I'll just export interface idea. Idea has a string which is basically the title. We called it idea in the backend. There's a string in this description, string as ID, down votes as number, and up votes as number. Okay, this is cool, and we can re-import it. Yep, now it's fine. Okay, so this is it. Now we have to somehow fetch the ideas. Okay, and it's very easy. We can use effect, right? And now there's a function as a first parameter describing what the effect should actually do, and then there's a dependency array telling the React when to rerun the effect, because there are many instances when you would like effect to rerun, and this is going to behave like component did mount and component did update, and also component will unmount merged together. But when you're fetching the data, like we are here, you only like to fetch it once at the very start, just like in component did mount. So to do that, you can specify empty dependency array. And why is that? Well, obviously, since the dependency array is being recalculated every single time that the render function is called, and if there are changes in the dependency array, it would get rerun. But since array is never the same as another empty array, yeah, because, well, there's nothing here, and this is not the value but the reference type, it would only get run once. Okay, so this actually simulates the component did mount syntax. Okay, so I'm gonna create a function here. It's gonna be async function. It's gonna take some data, and we're gonna await API get, and I'm gonna say this is gonna get IdeasList. I believe there are some ideas already specified in the API, so we should see some data here. And set ideas here. Set ID as this. Okay, with the data here, and then all we have to do is run it. Does that make sense? Oh yeah. This makes sense because we get that problem. Can't read property get of undefined. We're calling get on access instance, but we didn't use the init function. Okay, so the access instance is undefined currently. So how can we solve that problem? Well, where could we initiate the array or the API class? We could do that when the IdeasList page is being loaded. So like somewhere, I don't know, before use effect, maybe. But there's this cool approach of preloading that we are using from time to time. And we could use it like here. Here is a place that we can just call API init, and everything actually should be just fine. Okay, so stuff actually works if you provide the correct URL. And here you can see we have 31 ideas. Okay, and we can use them to render something. So let's go to IdeasList page, and let's just do something like that. We have these, we don't need this. I will create a component here. I will call it IdeasList. Is gonna be styled UL with list style set to none, and with and with padding inline and set to 30 pixels. This is gonna be our wrapper, and here I can just say ideas map idea. Let's say li. This is gonna look kind of stupid, but idea will give us a title of those ideas. And yeah, as you can tell, we have some content right here. Okay, but this obviously isn't looking too good, so let's create a new file and let's call it idea row. Okay, and now we can actually start working on that. So we need React, that's something new, and then we have idea row, which is going to be React functional component with props of, let's do interface props just for fancies, idea, great. Unpack it, and we can start working on that. So there are a few things that should be available for user to do. This is gonna be bookmarking an idea, voting, like downvoting and upvoting the idea, and of course showing the description. Okay, so let's work on that. I'm gonna say that this is actually gonna be a little bit different, because I'm gonna create a type props saying that the props has idea and also upvote with ID. It's gonna be string and promise void downvote ID string and promise void. Yeah, and what else? And bookmark ID string and promise void. Okay. Oh, and we have to add ampersand here, and now it's correct, and now it makes sense. Okay, so these are the props. Let's get to styling this stuff a little bit. So we're gonna need a wrapper for everything. Idea row wrapper. It's gonna be obviously styled li element. Yeah, I need this. Okay, so border bottom, because I'd like some separation here, and this is gonna be color set light. Please import it. Yeah, light pink. Thank you. With this display flex with padding 16 pixels, and we'll align items to center. Okay, so that's nice. Okay, let me just close that. What else we're gonna need? We're gonna need description wrapper. Okay, so description wrapper is gonna be cool because it's gonna be just styled span and margin left 16 pixels display flex direction column, and we'll style some good old DOM nodes inside. So header font size, please do 24 pixels. Color is gonna be color set main violet. Yeah, and P is gonna be font style italic. Color is gonna be color set light violet. Font size is gonna be 16 pixels. Yeah. And I would like to create a bookmark button. So bookmark button is gonna be style button, this and this. So let's actually style it. And border, there's none. Background, there is one, but it's transparent. Oh yeah. Outline, none. Cursor pointer, margin left auto. Why we're adding margin left auto here? Because we're building a row that is representing an idea, and I would like my button to be pushed as far right as possible. Therefore, I have to specify margin left auto for Flexbox to do its magic. It's gonna be bookmark, bookmark. Can't type. I can't type. There's no way around it. You can't. Okay. Hover. Yes, please, button like that. On hover, I would like my button to change color. So color is gonna be color set light violet. And the icon should have font size apparently of 32 pixels. With that done, we can just do stuff like description wrapper is here. It's gonna have the h3 with idea. Yeah, because actually we're gonna spread it. Then the P is gonna be description. Okay, this is fine. And then bookmark button with class name of course we're using material icons, nothing new here. Bookmark border. Okay, let me just export default this beautiful thing. Okay, we'll use it right here. Idea row, yeah, but we have to change it a little bit. Okay, self-closing, we have to spread the idea. This is cool. Then we also need upvote and downvote. So upvote here, this is gonna take idea ID and return, well, nothing. Can we do it like that? Not completely sure, but I'm gonna say no. Type string is not assignable to what? Just do let's just do, can we do like async? Oh wait, I don't know, anything. No, we can't. Okay, let's just simple this out. It's gonna be, we don't need to use promises right now. Just want something to actually run. So upvote is gonna take idea ID and return nothing. Yeah, this page. But why? It's okay. It's okay. Like, okay, fine with me. Okay. The same for the downvote, and the same for the bookmark. Oops, sorry, not that, but that. And this should compile. Okay, let me show you what we have. So what we have is this nice set of ideas, and each and single one can be bookmarked. Well, not actually yet, but we'll get there in the next episode of Cyber Potato. And then I'll see you there. Bye.